If you've been consistently inconsistent, good weeks wiped out by one bad day, great months wiped out by one bad week, this is the type of video that I wish existed when I first started trading. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to give you 5 key points, absolute key points for you to be a successful trader, because I put a reel out on Instagram. Go and check me out on Instagram. I'm back on there now. And what I work with a lot of traders, a lot of my content is for traders that have already been trading. But I thought I'd put a video out there for you now for a lot of beginner traders that come along as well. And even if you're struggling, or even if you've got a strategy and you're not quite there yet, these 5 key points are really, really going to help you open your eyes and take you to the next level. But more importantly, they're going to allow you to get rid of all this nonsense fog that you see, Lamborghini guru, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, lifestyle nonsense, and all this information, which actually is not valuable at all. It's just lifestyle stuff. It's going to allow you to get through that fog and get to the level that you need to get to. Okay, so point number 1, which is going to be the obvious one, is commitment. You need to be committed if you want to be a trader. You need to become obsessed. Now, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't become an addict, because at times, many of you watching this and myself, trading has become an addiction. But you do need to be obsessed. Now, the first year or the first even 2 years, people think that they should be where they are. And I've got a good point on that coming up soon. But if you're not obsessed and you're not committed to this cause, you're not going to be able to be successful in trading. It is a dream job, as I said in my last video. It's a dream situation, and you can design a life around this, but it's not going to come easy. So if you are not committed with whatever asset you are trading, whether it's a commodity, whether it's futures, whether it's a NASDAQ, whether it's an oil, whatever it may be, you need to become obsessed with that. What's going on with the markets daily? Every single day I can tell you what's going on in the market in the morning, and every single evening I can tell you what's going on in the market. Consistently looking at charts, what's going on in the industry, what you are in, what is happening on the charts. And without that commitment, it's not really going to happen. Many of you have probably started many things before, and it's not quite worked out, from businesses to relationships, because you were not committed. There's no different when it comes to this, but the commitment has to be at a level of an athlete, of a successful business person, of a successful man or woman in life. The commitment must be there. If you're not committed, my friends, then there's no point in trying to come into this following all the stuff that you see across the board, the trade attainment as we see. That is not the way to go, and that is not for you. So please, please, please be aware that if you're not committed, then it's never going to work anyway. And you need to see that light very, very early. Step number 2, which, crazy as it sounds, even sometimes I still now can allow this to creep in, which is insane. I've been trading so long, but comparison. Now, if you are brand new to trading, comparison is going to be very, very hard. I, for one, had this problem for years at the beginning of my journey, and there was nothing like what you see now on social media. Now it's absolutely insane. So that comparison can really, really affect you. It doesn't matter whether you're a 20-year-old and you're looking at another 20-year-old who's flying around in his green Lambo and saying, I'm this and I'm that, and you don't know where you are, or even whether like me, you're a 46-year-old and you see a 26-year-old flying and they've been trading 2 years, and you get caught up on that comparison. Don't do that. And the reason you can't do that is because everybody is on a different timeline and a different journey. Where I am at is very different for where a lot of people who maybe come and work with me or watch this video. So you can't compare things. I don't really show you a lot to compare with, because I don't want you to concentrate on that. I want you to concentrate on what value you get. However, you will come across where you compare yourself with others, and it's a different complete timeline. Where you are right now is not where I am. Where I am right now is not where a 8-figure trader per year is. It's very, very different. So number 2, please, please, please stop comparing yourself. Find value in videos like this and traders that give you the value, and get rid of all the noise where nobody's just giving you value and all you see is P&L and look at me with the spare bedroom bed, the mattress behind you on the floor. Think about where you are, what people are saying, and the information that they are giving you, because we are all at different stages, and you should never compare yourself to no one, because it will only work against you. Now, number 3, is one where people really, really go too fast. I get a lot of people message me in the background or sometimes under a video if I ever speak about certain things like prop firms or personal capital accounts. And they are obsessed with what platform should I use? Which prop firm should I get? I don't like this rule. I don't like that rule that they've changed. Who gives me the best offer? And they're always searching for the cheapest offer or no activation fee or how can I do this? And they don't even know how to trade. They don't have a system. They don't have the data to prove that they can trade. They don't even have a strategy that they've been doing for longer than 3, 6, 12, 24 months. My strategy has been the same for nearly 4 years now, okay? 3.5 years. Same thing all the time. That's all I look for. But people come in with what type of prop firm should I use? Well, how much money should I put in my own brokerage? And I try and say, do not worry about those things if you are not consistent, if you don't have a strategy. Now, prop firms are a very, very good way to learn how to trade. But many people are just keep buying accounts and keep resetting, and they have no strategy. They need to come away from that, and you need to understand that you must learn before you earn. Learning must come before the earning. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And that's the slow process that you need to go from. So number 3 is don't worry about where you should be, what broker you should be, or what prop firm you should be using. Because if you're not learning and you've not learned, then you can't earn yet. You may have a bit of luck. And again, you see that on social media, whether it's eval cycling, but that's not what type of trader you want to be. You want to be in this game for 10, 15 years, and you want to build something that means something to you, other people, and your family. So number 3 is don't worry about where to put what prop firm to go through or what brokerage until you understand and have the data what you're actually doing in this market. Now, number 4, and I actually think number 4, of course, after number 1, which is your strategy, but I think it's probably the biggest thing in trading, which then allows you to understand how the psychology works. Psychology is a different level. I'm not going to speak to on this video. I've got 90% of my content is how your brain should work for trading, okay? But a lot of people watching this, they're at the beginning of their journey and they're still thinking about strategy or steps that they need to get into trading. So number 4 is, I think it's the most important, understanding risk management. This is an ROI game, not only with your personal energy, your personal finances, with your mental energy and your mental capacity. And all this is based around risk management, because risk management triggers some emotions that you are going to be petrified of, put you in fear, put you in traumatic times, put you in very, very uncomfortable positions. That's a deeper level, but the surface level is understanding risk management. The only way that you can stay in this game for long enough is if you stay in the game long enough by having the capital. Whether that's with a brokerage, whether that's with a prop firm, whether that's with your personal, whatever it is. If that runs out, that's your oxygen. Your capital is your oxygen in this game. And if you don't manage that capital enough, you're going to run out of oxygen. It's as simple as that. And then you've got to reload your account. And then you've got to rebuy prop firms. Don't get me wrong, you're all going to have to do that. I had to do that for years because that was my learning tuition. But remember what I said, learn before you earn. Now, if you're learning and you go into this, you understand risk management. So risk management for me is absolutely crucial. And how you can start to shift this is you got to stop thinking, how much can I earn from this trade? How much can I earn? How much can I make? Maybe I can just make this amount of money and I can go and do this with that money. And that forcing and that wanting will cause you to not think about how much am I willing to lose? If I still now think about I want something and I'm going to force the issue, which I have done even this year because I'm trying to force something in Europe, I'm not concentrating on what could I possibly lose at that time. Now I'm at the stage where I know my risk and I can afford to take more risk than, say, someone who cannot. However, if I don't manage that risk, I'm going to struggle. So for you, risk management is absolutely crucial, that you have to protect that capital. So please, please, please don't think about how much can I earn and think about what am I willing to lose on this trade, and does that keep me in the game to remain sustainable over the long term? It's very, very important, because if not, you're going to be going round in circles, and all you're going to be going is a feedback loop theory of filling up the tank, running out of fuel, filling up the tank, running out of fuel. And you'd never really get to the point where you need to get to. You either one, burn out, you don't give yourself enough time, or two, you completely say trading's not for you. And I'd be very sad if that was the case, because so many people can make this a life-changing endeavor for them. Now, the final point, what I want to make is don't trade alone. Now, I have a community, and this is not to show the community. It's actually quite funny. The other video, I was talking about how we did something great for the community, and I was trying to not show the community, and someone said, it felt like you was just talking about your community. Obviously, I block anyone with any negativity. I keep a very positive energy around myself and around my YouTube and around our community. But don't trade alone. And I can see that because I traded alone for a very, very long time, and I didn't understand what I was doing right or what I was doing wrong. When a strategy worked, but it was still losing, I had no one to speak to. When I couldn't find the strategy, I had no one to dial that strategy in. When I was going through greed or fear or frustration or heartache, I didn't understand who to speak to. And that's why it's very, very important to have a community. Now, it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be, I don't care who it is, but make sure it's a community that brings you value. Make sure it's other people, other members in that community that bring you value. And that's down to the person who runs that community. For us, ours is very, very friendly. Ours is very, very open. It's very chilled, and it's people helping each other on a way to the same goal, but they're on different paths. Very, very different paths. So whatever you do, the importance is you must be around like-minded people, because away from trading in the real world, through experience, I can tell you, it's very hard to connect with anyone in your day-to-day life. I don't know any other traders in my day-to-day life. I know them online, I know them through the community, and I know them other people away from that. But in my day-to-day life, I don't have no one to speak to except for my community. Now, that's really, really good for me, and that's why I built that. But for you as an individual, if you've not found a community or a group of traders, you must find those group, and you must go with like-minded people. So any lifestyle, any Lambo, any showing off, stay clear, because that's not the reason that you're in there. You need to find value. You need to find like-minded people who you get along with, who have the same interests in you, and you have a really, really good connection with these people. And who knows where that might lead when it comes to your trading or friendships or relationships. But I can guarantee you this, from my experience, it'll be life-changing for you to get into a community of like-minded people or create a community of like-minded people. Because for me, it's changed my life, and I've met some wonderful people who will be my friends for a very, very long time, if they still want to be my friend. But you understand. So please, please, please do not trade alone. Now, in the link below, there's a quick journal. Go and take the journal. Go and do the 30-day challenge. And if you need any help with any of this along the way, then you know exactly where I am. But again, don't trade alone. Be committed. Don't compare. Don't worry about prop firms. And please, please understand your risk.